Okay, guys, so now that I kind of have a sense after I brainstormed about what I want to do, I really recommend that you draw this story mountain in your journal and actually, write the definition of the climax, the falling action, and the resolution, and the rising action, and the background without a conflict. Without a conflict, just so you know, there is no rising action. Like, Romeo loving Juliet, right? And all of a sudden him killing Tybalt, for example, that causes the action to get worse, right? And the problem to get worse. A great thing that will help you get to that climax and that crescendo is by having dialogue, right? So you really got to think about things that were said. So as you're making these notes in your visual journal, and you're telling the background, you really want to describe the setting. The setting. And what did you see? What did you hear? What did you feel? So we were isolated like sardines. We could hardly breathe at times, afraid, wiping down groceries. He would leave, wondering who would get sick, not knowing, heart racing. This is fear, right? So my baby's making noise, so I kind of got to cut this short. But like one thing, if I were to write a monologue about needing to leave during the coronavirus, one thing that would help was really including dialogue, fighting, happening. And obviously this isn't domestic abuse, right? Because we would need to report this, but any sort of verbal disagreements and conflict, it can be you versus yourself, right? Like while you're in isolation, or it can be you versus someone else, or it can be us versus society. It can be kind of like, well, how is everything going on in the world impacting us? That dialogue, that conversation, is what propels us up to the action, right? So think about that. The climax, how do you do a crescendo really with a script? My advice is to have repetition, right? And then it's like the highest point of action. It's exciting, it's a problem. And as you're going down, it's like, okay, so what is the lesson? Like, what do we need to learn? What do we need to learn and realize? So in this new piece that I'm thinking about, working on, is I'm thinking we need to value, I got to go take care of my baby, people, and relationships, and doing the best for those we love is what matters. Humans need to stop being selfish. Okay. So make sure that you post, and you can get more elaborate than this, but post some kind of story mountain that helps us realize the lesson that you learned in the story that you're going to tell, right? And make sure you have that lesson in your mountain on seesaw, and make sure you label it really big so we can see, so we understand what it is that you're going for in your monologue, and we could give you support. Okay, good luck in your writing, guys.